that the sound is good to go. I'm gonna wait until we get in real quick so I can hear if the sound is good to go. Welcome back. It's a little off. Hold up. Sound check. That sounds good. Welcome to the redo of the Sorcerer episode. Just want to go over some of the basics in a little bit of a more clean format than what I've been using for the other locations. The first thing you want to do if you're planning on becoming a warrior during stage 1 before you do anything else in the encampment, including going to the Riftstone. Hold up. Sound check again. Oh heck no. Alright, hopefully I'm online now. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is go to this notice board and take eye for an eye. The goal, well, the reward is what we want, which is the Grievous Black, and in order to get it, we're going to have to defeat 3 Cyclopses, which we'll do automatically throughout the game. Matter of fact, the game's going to gift us one as soon as we go and talk to this Riftstone in the Pond Guild. Hold up, this audio is still trash. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Alright, it sounds good. I'm going to keep pressing. Alright, so yeah, you want to take that one, and you're going to get a freebie as soon as you talk to the Riftstone in the Pond Guild. A barely alive Cyclops will spawn, you'll kill it, and you'll get 1 of 3. Later on in the game, when you do Water God's Altar, you'll have another 2 inside of there that you can take down. 1 is mandatory, 1 is not, but it's a small one, so it's a lot easier to take down. Alright, second thing you want to do before you even have the opportunity to become a sorcerer proper. You want to go get a weapon. So while you're escorting the cart with Mercedes, Sir Mercedes if you're nasty, you're going to come down here to this rocky crag out in the sea. heading towards the gate to Gran Soren. And down here, hiding here, you'll find a chest. And this will have our first free archer staff. It's the one I'm wearing right now, actually. Now, it's only a chance, so you may have to try a few times. So if you are brand new, you won't be able to use the item I just used, right? You'll have to quit out of the game totally and then come right back in. Quit game without saving. The reason I don't do this during streams is because of how slow it is, but since this is a guide, I'll do it once. That's how you save scum properly during early game before you beat the dragon and get that Godsbane item that I just got. That I just used. Alright. So moving forward, I won't be doing that anymore. Just assume every time I use Godsbane, what I did was the long way that I just did. I hate that rose ring so much. I might give it a couple flashes because I keep getting the same thing. Alright, one more time. This is not the stab myself in the chest stream. You can also purchase the Archer Staff, if I'm not mistaken, from Caxton during stage 1, or stage 2 rather. Yep, nope, I don't care anymore. So the thing is, Sorcerer doesn't need to buy that much stuff. So if you want to just go ahead and buy your first weapon, more power to you. Because time is money, and I'm not going to spend half an hour farming that if I can just purchase it. For a very low price, of course. How much is our good friend here, Caxton, taxing us? 18,000 gold. So if you go and use my guide to get the false gold idol, it would be 13, maybe 13 and a half. 14. If you're looking at your own coffers and you're deciding that it's worth the save scum in order to save the 14,000, then go for it. Otherwise, you'll be able to purchase it there. Once you purchase it, go ahead and 1-star it. You can do it right here with him. The reason I don't advocate 2-starring or 3-starring is because you're not going to have those items, and those aren't guaranteed. You have to go find them. So it's just easier to get 1-star out of the way. Now, once you arrive in Gran Soren proper, talk to this guy. You'll have 2 armor sets available. This one's basically perfect for you because as a sorcerer, your magic defense will be very high naturally, but your regular defense will be garbage. And most of your enemies in the early game will be using regular attacks. So the set of Aldous armor for your male is just optimal. For a female, however, you also have you only have the option of the set of Queen's clothing, which is significantly even more powerful than the set of Aldous armor that I was talking about. So keep in mind, depending on your character's gender, you'll be able to use one or the other. In order to upgrade the set of Aldous armor, you'll come over here to Madeline and you'll buy from her tool section at the bottom 2 foreign knives. And you'll go over to our friend Caxton again and upgrade it to 2 stars. Now remember, you can skip stars if you have the right item. So you can go straight from 0 stars to 2 here. Now, that is all you had to do in stage 2 of this game. And since we're already going into stage 3, let's talk about skills. I don't want to get too far gone. Alright, I just picked here because it's a safe place to practice. So, some of your bread and butter skills earlier on, before you get the good skills, the strong skills, the slow skills. Gonna have angle, which you might have as a mage. Levin, the same. Holy Affinity. Slash Boom. Best spell in the game. Holy Focus Bolt. AKA Lasers of Death. And then we move on to the new stuff. The Sorcerer specifics. Miasma is your bread and butter here. Not for the poison, but because it does elementless damage. Which can be very helpful against things that resist all elements, like Hydras. And then the other two spells I pick are the ones that have physical damage. And they also happen to correspond with the Dire Drakes that have elemental weaknesses. 9 out of 10 times you're going to want to cast regular Blighted. The reason you don't want to cast high Blighted is because only 2 meteors will ever hit an opponent unless that opponent has multiple targets that are valid on its body. For instance, a Chimera. They have multiple valid targets on their body, so they can be hit many times by a Blighted, up to 6. But most other enemies can only be hit twice. Giselle. If I'm not mistaken, does slash damage. Which version you want to use depends on your purpose. If you only care about the physical damage, then regular Giselle. It'll allow you to aim at those floating golem discs. And you can click in your stick in order to aim more precisely. If I'm not mistaken, this does slash damage instead of impact damage like Blighted, so it's not quite as strong against the discs, but is much more guaranteed to hit because you are the one aiming instead of some random number generator. And then for Hydrocell, it's more useful against those enemies that are actually weak to ice magic damage. Because you'll see those first few shots were pure magic. There was no physical component to them, but they were there, so they did a lot of magic damage. Some other skills you have, just basics. Your bolts, your magic bolts, your focus bolts by holding down. Holy Focus Bolt is the best magic skill in the game. So just enchant yourself with Holy to get that. If you're using a pawn, be careful what you give them. I would highly recommend just keeping them on the basic version of all spells besides Miasma and Affinity, and the very fast cast ones like Levin and Angle. This is doubly true for Combustion because Combustion actually gets weaker as you upgrade it. And then, unlike Mage, you have a seemingly magical effect, but it actually does physical damage as well as magic. So this vocation is far better outfitted to deal with golems than mages are. In fact, it's well outfitted to deal with even metal golems, if you have the space. Because if you don't have the space, then you won't be able to cast your spells that do physical damage. And right now what you're seeing are the 6 best spells that you can have on you at any given time. However, a special mention must be made for Maelstrom, which is quite powerful against enemies that are vulnerable to dark. All 3 of them in the game. However, one of them is the dragon itself. So before we go fight the dragon, we'll be swapping to High Maelstrom. Alright, let's move on to stage 3. During stage 3, oh, excuse me, we're still in stage 2. We are still technically in stage 2. But let's pretend we're in stage 3 because you can do this in stage 3 as well. We're going to take a trip. Alright, so this is the entrance of the ancient quarry, right? Due directly west from Gran Soren, but you'd have to work through your way through some stuff to get here. Where we want to go is to the Abbey. Oh, well, let's do some demonstration. And just that damage is tremendous from miasma, even with the weakest staff in the game. Although I am level 2200, it's still ridiculous. We could deal with that, but I don't think I want to deal with that right now. Basically just heading due west from the ancient quarry. We run into the gate of the Abbey here. And this is the person we want, but we don't have the things we need yet. So we need to go and collect at least 3 lone flower. 4 if you want to be safe, but every time I've done 3 it's worked. gonna go right back to the entrance of that abbey. And you're going to find the lady in charge here.
A traveler.
Her name's Clarice. And you're just going to go ahead and donate these flowers to her, to this wonderful woman that you've just met.
I thank you for your
And then you're going to spook her. I'm just kidding. You don't want to do that. That was not supposed to happen. Basically, you're supposed to give her the flowers 3 times. 4 if you want to be safe about it. And once you've done that, you'll go to Gran Soren again. We're going to pretend I just did it, and I did it right, and nothing bad happened. You'll go to the Gran Soren Inn. This notice board is the one with all the escort requests on it. And you're going to pick up Clarice's request to take her to the northern healing spring. Near the Blighted Manse. Just up to the northwest of it a little bit. Top of the map. And there's a couple of different ways to do this. I just do it straight up, like I just run there at full speed. Using 15 mushrooms, very light encumbrance, and yeah, I just gun it there. Basically I start running as soon as I encounter enemies after crossing this bridge. Of course you're doing this during daylight, and you'll probably first encounter enemies coming around Conquest Road, and then in order to keep Clarice alive you just run for your life. Maybe you want 20-25 mushrooms if you've never done it before. And maybe, well, I wouldn't say spring water because you need light encumbrance to make it, but still. But anyway, once you successfully get her there, alive, that's the most important part. She'll give you the Keen Dragon's Wit. And the Keen Dragon's Wit is pretty much the second or third strongest, I think it's third strongest arch staff that you can get in the game. Before fighting the dragon. And I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm not going to add before fighting the dragon anytime I say that anymore, because this entire video is about before fighting the dragon. So if I say in the game, that's what I mean. Alright, so now we're in stage 3 proper. Stage 3 starts whenever you turn in a quest to Sir Maximilian, one of the ones he gave you. So when you turn in any quests, I'm going to assume it's going to be probably Seeking Salvation or something like that. You want to take War God's Altar before you go meet the Duke, because that'll allow you to get Grievous Black. And Grievous Black is a anode weapon, and anode weapons deal double the damage to enemies that are tarred, or rather they tar enemies, which cause double fire damage to enemies that are tarred. So the next fire attack that hits them deals double damage. Still working on the audio. I just said I'm still working on this audio, trying to get it to be more consistent. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this anode weapon out. We're going to do a High Belite against our friend over here, the Chimera, with or a regular Belite actually. Well, we'll see how much we have time for. Probably regular one's all I'm going to get, if I get that. Do you just ignore trees? That's cheating. That's annoying. That's just annoying. And that's why I say this is your bread and butter. Alright, let's see how much damage you do. Yeah, we're not targeting. There's a target. Now let's try to actually hit our target this time. We'll hit snake. I don't know if it actually worked. No, that's coming. That's sad. That looked like it hit the goat. Oh, I might have hit the Alright, that was quite a lot of damage. I wonder if I can weather more attacks with the Ogre Bone. I should try it. Yeah, I'm put on some Ogre Bones. I should have actually access to 2 Ogre Bones by now in the game. So I'll go ahead and put those on. Hooker. I'm just going to give myself a little pick-me-up in order to get rid of these goblins a little bit faster. Hopefully only the goblins. Oh, great. That's great. Apparently this guy doesn't like falling. Alright, we got him in the same He's in the same spot as last time. Now we're going to tar him, and then right after tarring him, swap. I don't know if I'm gonna get this off. No, I'm not. It worked. So the first hit would have done the increased damage. One's going to hit a goblin for sure. Remember when I said chimeras can be hit multiple times? So by charging me, he made himself the target of all 4 of those. Now I have to go back in the footage to review how much the antled hit did versus the other hits. But I'm sure if you look, there's a bump on that first fireball that hit the antled chimera versus the first fireballs hitting all the other fireballs in general. Alright, so now we've got to go collect our in-game set. Normally you do this at a point where you were doing Ophus's quests. Over at the ruins of Heaven's Peak. We ain't got that much daylight left, so we're going to try to make it quick. So actually, I think one might be over here for free. I'm in a bad spot, by the way. I need to do this. Thankfully, I did not get frozen by that. I didn't know snow harpies could be silenced. That's interesting. Alright, so we got 3 chests here. Tier 2, Tier 1. So we got Tier 2 here. Tier 1 over here. That's so annoying. Tier 2, Tier 1. Where's the other chest at? It's supposed to be 3. Maybe it's up top of the rock. Where the freaking frick? Because I don't know what I'm dealing with until... Well, let's try this Tier 2 chest. I hope I'm... It's not just something like the other side of the... Here, is it? Alright, whatever. I'm gonna try this Tier 2. Right here. Alright. Wish me luck. If this is the right chest, then it saves me a whole lot of heartache. No data. Giant coin pouch means nothing to me. Actually, no, it does mean something to me. That's chest number 17. I'm looking for number 18. Put that away. Right. This number 17 should be to the far north. 18 should be south of it a little bit. So it's this Tier 1 chest then. Or well, it says 17 and 18 can both have giant coin, and 19 can all have giant coin pouches. So I have no data because of these giant coin pouches. Never mind. This is my first time trying to farm this item instead of just buying it, so I want to make sure I'm giving you guys accurate information on where to get it. Tier 2. Thick furries. Okay, so this is the right chest. This is the absolute right chest. Alright. Yep, this is the one. That's not the right item. The item we want is the animistic robe. We'll see if we get it in the next pull. I know another chest nearby that gives it as well. It's just that getting to is a little more interesting. But there's only 2 possibilities from that chest instead of 3. Oh, there we go. Got it now. So that'll be one of our final set pieces, the animistic robe. And if you're paying attention, I literally just came down from the Greatwall into this big raised area. And it's this level 2 chest right here. A little uphill from the cage. And the Miasmic Honda's down there. Alright, let's go due east. And while we're at it, reset affinity on ourselves. Alright, so remember when I said Holy Focus Bolt is your strongest spell? I wasn't lying at all. Watch this. And it heals you. Now the thing is, it has limits. If the enemy is highly resistant to magic, then that's its limit. Oh, you lucky dog! Don't hit me again right before I cast. There we go. Unfortunately, he just ran behind the camera. But that time I didn't lock onto him just in case he got out of my way that quickly. Ooh, dusk is coming. We are in it. Trying my hardest to get over to this castle before it gets crazy outside. Oh, the dark effect went away. We're good. Alright, that's Sophis herself. I think she attacks on sight, right? I'm not sure. Either way, we're going to ignore her. Because we're a male and we can't talk to her. So, by the way, if you want to talk to her, you need to go find a set of ladies' clothing or something like that. I think that's what it's called, the set of ladies' garb. And you can wear it as a male, and it'll allow you to talk to Ophis if you want to. I actually recommend it because it will allow you to do other things in the game as well. Not necessarily connected to the Sorcerer location, just other things. Alright, so here we are, the fancy chest atop the ruins of Heaven's Peak. As high as you can get. Hunter's bow, we don't want. Let's try again. This time we're gonna hope that we get the red over knee boots. So normally I would have gotten the red over knee boots first, and then I would have went for the animistic robe. Oh my gosh, that's so lucky. That is such a rare drop, at least in my experience it is. That's like a 2% drop. Watch this. This time I'm not going to get red over knee boots for like 50 tries. I'm not going to do 50 tries. I might do 5. Give me 5. Give me it now. Third time's a charm. Let's go. Okay, third time was not, in fact, the charm. If I don't get it, no worries. I already have a copy. I just want to pull it so you can see where it is and evidence that I've gotten it. Ooh, I thought Hunter's bow was a lucky pull during my last stream with Assassin, but apparently it was not. That is a very likely pull. I guess that's good for Strider and Assassin, though. Let me give it a couple pulses. Maybe it'll give me what I'm looking for. Okay, I give up. Anyway, at this point, we would have gotten the animistic robe and the red overknee boots. The red overknee boots would have come from this chest here. Now we're going to go back to Gran Soren. There's two things we need to get. Now we are still in stage 3, but we are getting very close to starting stage 4. Malin, there you are. Now by now she'll have her own shop over in the Venery if you've done Mason's quest. However, I'm still in stage 2 in this video game, even though I am at stage 3, almost done in the guide. So, she's here. You'll be able to purchase the tiger bangle off of her.
Thank you.
I already have a copy, so we'll just go ahead and equip.
The master works all, you can't go wrong.
And then
The master works all, you can't go wrong.
by the way, if you want to upgrade Grievous Black, it would have been a freaking scale. Not there yet. Torn Grimoire appendix for the animistic robe. Yellow poison sacks from Sorcerer. You would have gotten them in a War God's altar.
The master works all.
Or fought them at least. And then Glacial Pain and 2-star from the No Harpy stat art everywhere.
The master works all.
Alright, so out of all that, what are we missing? We are missing a helmet.
We are in. We can see. It is our break. Come and be. Have your pick. What will it be today?
Let me go ahead and put away the stuff I don't need real fast.
What will it be? Have your pick. Come again.
Alright. I'm a little bit lighter on my feet. Oh, you can't go this way. That's right. So, I don't normally go all the way up here, but there's a point to be made. Alright. So this dude, Sir Maximilian, he gives you all the Wyrm Hunt quests. Once you say you want to hear the Duke's directive, the natural thing you want to do is try to enter the castle. However, do not do that. Once you say you want to hear the Duke's directive, instead go right back down to the Gran Soren Inn. And hopefully, by the way, you would have needed to give the Dragon Forged over at Hillfrigger Knoll about 5 or 6 Hearthbed juices or sauces before this. But at the end, you'll be able to get a escort quest for him. He'll ask you to take him to the Miasmic Hunt, which is in the same area we were just in, over in the Barred Crags. He'll actually take you to the camp. Go ahead and do it, and honestly, I just recommend setting up a port crystal in that camp. And once you do, you will get the Dragon Band. And that completes your, almost completes your look. You don't have underclothes yet.
Bond, dear lad, that's not myself. Have your pick, any you like.
Alright.
What will it be today? Have your pick, any you like. What will it be today?
But at this point, if we compare with what we started with, yeah, it's like night and day when it comes to magic defenses. We went from 461 to 619. And then we only ended up losing 44 strength, 44 defense.
What will it be today? Have your come again?
Well,
So not that big of a loss. But anyway, we're also going to upgrade the Dragon Band eventually, but we're not going to be able to do it right here, right now. Actually, yes we will. I'm lying. Yes we will. But it's kind of hard to do.
are you? Take all the time you like. Take all the do come.
Who says you need a maze to heal yourself? Now that we've mostly got good magic resistance, we got an enemy that we need to take down. So remember, we're still on this precipice of stage 4. We haven't quite gotten there yet. Now, if you want to get there and just go ahead and do the thing, you can just go ahead and do it just so that you can get the barbed nails. It would actually probably be better for what we're about to do. But because I'm level 200 and I'm overpowered, I'm just going to go ahead and do it straight. Oh, hold up. Just keeping that holy affinity on you at all times is crucial. Especially when you can't see. Still got those heat-seeking missiles. Heat-seeking lasers, rather. Alright, so if you don't already know, there's an enemy in Devilfire Grove. So spoilers if you don't want to be spoiled. But it's coming, so you've got 0 seconds left. Sorry. There he is. You can barely see him, but he's there. I didn't hit him at all. Oh yeah, I'm about to get hit. That's gonna suck. Alright, so the item we actually want just dropped because we hit him through his face. Dragon Horn. Alright. Let's... Gotta be careful with our stamina. Holy Affinity is actually really good for keeping your stamina use down too. I think I'm already gotten hold up, that might be it right there. Dragonhorn, there's the second one. So that's all we actually needed. We can go home now. If you want to continue trying to fight this guy, you can. But that's a personal decision. And if you fail, it's up to you. Otherwise, you just warp out of here. Because you got 2 dragon horns. Straight back to Gran Soren. That was really lucky that I saw that on the ground. It's like, why did he roar? I might have ripped his wing, but I actually broke his horn again. So you can get 2. So once you have 2 dragon horn, you're going to take him back.
These, the masterworks all.
To our good friend Caxton, and you'll be able to 2-star your dragon band. And also your Keen Dragon's Wit, you'll be able to 2-star that as well. And both of those will be pretty expensive to do, by the way. And once you've done that, now you will be ready to go into stage 4, enter the Duke's Domain.
The masterworks come again.
So once you've met with the Duke, you will actually, that's actually really cool looking with the King Dragon's Wit. Let's see. Never mind. It was only in a certain lighting. Yeah, that looks bad. BA. Okay, anyway. Oh, maybe I can do the, hold up. I need Mason to stop photobombing me. And then I need, hold up. Alright, there we go. Oh no, it's just holding it. Hold up. I think I can. Nah, that's okay. That's a screen cap right there. I like that one. Except for Mason. I need Mason to get out of the frame. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, stage 4. So, first thing you're going to do is you're going to give the barbed nails to, well, you're going to give any idol to Madeline. It's up to you what you want to do. I highly recommend giving her the silver and then giving Caxton the gold just in case you want to do other things with your life. But it ultimately doesn't affect Sorcerer personally. Next up, after you give up the bar, after you do that, rest for 3 days, you'll be able to buy the barb nails from Madeline.
Well, for men, you'll find not.
That's what I was alluding to earlier when I said, hey, I should probably have barb nails for the dragon.
You'll find not. Thank you very much.
Well, the drake. It's not a dragon. The dragon's obviously way bigger. Next up, when you start stage 4, besides the idol quest, you'll also get a quest in the middle of this town square where they're going to hunt down a witch. Go ahead and handle that. When you finish that quest, leave the area, come back. You will be able to fight an optional boss down by the river in that area next to a shiny rock. Once you win that fight with a lot of usage of Belide and Glycel, probably, you'll be able to get the strongest Archer Staff in the game, which is the Stagnant Surge. It's a dark element one. And the dragon is naturally weak to it because he's weak to darkness. And then last note for stage 4 is that you might want to go get the Gloves of Might. It doesn't really affect you that often. The biggest thing I can think of is maybe Condemned Gore Cyclops and Bitter Black Island. Like just releasing its its mass before you hit it with the full power just cell to the face. But outside of that, I can't think of anything else. So, moving forward, we're going to actually skip Act 5 because there's nothing in Stage 5 for you. And then we're going straight to Stage 6. And we're going to go to our buddy Jace, who is actually in that camp that we passed through in order to get to the Drake. He was right there in that camp. And he's going to allow us to purchase the Hunter shirt. So, no more spectacular shoulders out. And we're also not going to be looking... it looks like we're just swapping from cloth jean pants under it. Those are the leather bandings. So these are going to give us some really important torpor and skill stifle resistance. And 100 shirt is also going to give us some skill stifling resistance. The Conqueror's Mantle we are going to purchase from the Black Cat, and we're going to 1-star it. It's going to give us more skill stifle, some curse, and some petrification resistance. By the way, with Hunter's shirt and leather bandings, we're going to go ahead and 3-star those because they're really cheap and easy. They only need Direwolf Pelves and 2 snakeskin. And then last thing we're going to do while we're still at the Black Cat, we're going to purchase Evil Eyesight. It's a staff that is absolutely useless to us right here, right now, but it will be useful very, very soon. So you want to Dragon Forge it when we fight the dragon. So, Stagnant Surge is going to be our main weapon against the dragon, and our main weapon in general, actually. And then right before, when the dragon's like down to his last half a health bar, make sure you're swapping to Evil Eyesight, because the weapon that is equipped to you at the moment that his health hits 0 is the one that gets +4. And you want to have this for a surprise. It's a hate weapon, which means it deals double damage to a certain class of enemy. In this case, it deals double damage to eye creatures. And that's about it, honestly. I do want to show you guys a comparison, a functional comparison, actually. So remember at the end of the Mage stream, I went through a lot. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I went through a lot trying to defeat a golem at the end. I think it took me about 20 minutes. Maybe 10 of them was my fault because I just forgot that I could jump off of a golem that I was already climbing onto in order to use a jump attack. But either way, it's way too hard to kill a golem when you're using a mage. We're going to do the same thing with Sorcerer. Alright. Now to start off with, I'm gonna go with Blighted. We know where it is this time, so let's just go for it. Oh, darn, I forgot you can't walk with it. Well, if that's the case, then I'll start with Giselle. Now remember, high Giselle is pointless. Regular Giselle does all the physical damage that high Giselle does. However, high Giselle does allow me to move once I'm done channeling the regular version, so that's why I'm going to have this one charged up first. My first goal is to take out that bottom foot, if I can. No luck. Remember when I told you that this attack does physical damage? Now remember, golems cannot take a magical damage unless it's coming from a very specific dang. I let him get all the way up and didn't even really hurt his bottom foot there. Oh, dang, that's the worst place for his rage thing to be. Yeah. Alright, so like I said before, I like to start with Blighted. Now, without people to guard me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to cast this. However, what I can do, let me try this out. Actually, never mind. Yeah, using a little bit of cover. However, remember, if you're not close enough to the enemy, Blighted likes to be very random and useless. I think that was pure luck, actually. That wasn't even supposed to hit him. Judging from his feet, I'm not sure. Yeah. I would love to get this off. No! That's why I said I would love to get that off, but it's just not going to happen. Gonna swing that way, And then I'm halfway through casting, but it's not gonna work. I mean, he recovers in half the cast, unfortunately. There we go. I guess I should take out his... There you go. Not gonna hit that foot. That was what I was most worried about. There. Gonna hit him on the top of his head. If it wasn't for finite stamina, this would be fun as heck. Like I said, if it wasn't for finite stamina. Oh, I don't want to break that. Well, actually, yeah, I think I do want to break that, huh? No, not quite. I want him to use an attack that's very, very slow and predictable real fast. That's not slow and predictable enough. Yeah, nah. I think I have just enough space. Yep, that'll get me through one motion, and I'm going to get hit. Oh, this is actually really good timing. Oh, you're blowing up your fist, ain't you? Open up that fist for me. He's in slow rage. Ow. You're swinging around the arm. I actually need to break. Stop it. Bye-bye. Dappled ore, copper ore. Magic metals, and we're done. Way faster than with mage. It's almost like having a AoE burst instead of a stick swing is just way better. On top of that, just having a spell that hits, like Giselle I didn't manage to use, but just having Belite was a massive help there. Even though 3/4 of those casts didn't work at all. But alright, that'll be it for Sorcerer. As always, I've been me, you've been awesome. If you've enjoyed the content, please feel free to like and subscribe. That'll definitely help the channel out. We're almost at a quarter of the goal, of the starting goal, which is 1,000 followers. At that point, we'll be able to actually get monetized on YouTube, which would help recoup some of the costs of operation. And yeah, that'll be about it. Peace.